Oh, what a controversial video this is going to be, with yogurt lovers in one corner and milk kefir fans in the other. I feel the tension brewing. Thankfully for you, our research team has done all the hard work to figure out the real pros and cons of both, and we're not going to pull any punches. Welcome to the ultimate Fermented Dairy Fighting Championship. Now, before we start the battle, I think it's important to quickly show you how milk kefir and yogurt are different. After all, if you look at them side by side, you'd think these two cultured dairy products are pretty similar. In fact, most patients tell me kefir simply looks like a watery version of yogurt. But that's like saying Brad Pitt is just a watery version of Robert Redford. So not true. So the big difference is in how they are made. With kefir, you have to add a complex colony of bacteria and yeast known as kefir grains to fresh milk and allow it to ferment for 24 hours at room temperature. By contrast, with yogurt, you typically add existing yogurt or a yogurt starter culture, which both contain only a simple selection of bacteria, to heated milk and then let it culture for around 8 to 12 hours at 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 to 43 degrees Celsius. In other words, these two probiotic dairy products use the same liquid, but very different bacteria and fermentation processes. Now let's see which one is better. Let's cut to the chase here. Yogurt tastes amazing. And I'm not even talking about the flavored yogurts jam-packed with sugar or artificial sweeteners. After all, plain whole milk yogurt, which is creamy in texture, tastes sweet, and has a slight tang, is delicious on everything from muesli to fresh fruits, and even works great as a salad dressing. Meanwhile, milk kefir often tastes more like slightly sour milk or buttermilk due to the presence of beneficial yeast, and it can take some time to get used to. Of course, you can flavor it with some honey or vanilla extract or even mix it into shakes while you're getting used to it. Overall though, when it comes to taste and versatility, yogurt is the clear winner. So here's trophy number one. These days, you can easily buy both kefir and yogurt at your local health food store or supermarket. But assuming you want to make the healthiest versions of each by making them at home, which one is easier? Well, if you have a yogurt maker machine, then yogurt is going to be your clear winner. Everything is so simple, from buying the starter culture to fermenting it to the right point. By contrast, with kefir milk, you have to hunt out quality kefir grains, and then you have to go through the whole process of activating them, setting up your fermenting equipment, and doing a few initial batches till you get the kefir just right. Once you're up and running though, kefir is really easy to make, as you can turn plain old milk into milk kefir within 24 hours, day after day. Best of all, kefir grains can be used indefinitely to make more kefir milk, whereas yogurt can only be recultured a few times. If you balance it all up here, I'd call it a draw. Apart from taste and convenience, I'd say tolerance is the next big deciding factor on which one is best for you. And this is where kefir is the clear winner. You see, unlike yogurt, kefir contains much less lactose, the sugar in milk that many people find hard to digest. And that's because kefir grains eat up more of the lactose sugar during fermentation compared to yogurt. This also explains why kefir has less sugar and tastes less sweet than yogurt. So if lactose is an issue for you, then kefir is the friendliest of the two. Obviously, thanks to the cow's milk itself, you'll enjoy a lot of nutrients such as minerals, vitamins, and even a good serving of protein in both kefir and yogurt. But the difference, as I hinted at, is that milk kefir will be lower in sugar. So while a cup of plain yogurt might have 6 to 10 grams of sugar, vanilla yogurt might have 22 grams of sugar, whereas kefir has anywhere from 3 to 4 grams of sugar, or even less depending on how long it's being fermented. So kefir is the clear winner here. Up until now, I think you'd agree the battle between milk kefir and yogurt has been pretty even. But when it comes to probiotics, milk kefir is ready to take the gloves off. And that's because milk kefir grains contain a much richer and diverse world of beneficial microorganisms compared to yogurt starter culture. And so unsurprisingly, they are able to produce so much more good bacteria as well as beneficial yeast in the kefir drink itself. In fact, in a single cup of homemade milk kefir, you can typically find between 100 to 300 billion CFUs of good bacteria and yeast, which can come from 30 to 100 different probiotic species. That's huge. And let's compare that to yogurt, which typically has only 1 to 5 billion CFUs per serving, and usually from only 2 to 4 different probiotic species. Apart from being so much more potent, the good bacteria and yeast in kefir are also much more useful as they're able to stick around the gut much longer, which means they can have a greater impact on your intestinal health, especially when it comes to crowding out both bad bacteria and yeast. With all of that said, the bacteria in yogurt are still worth our attention as they can help in different ways. You see, they move through the gut quicker and they can help clean out your large intestine and feed existing bacteria. But let's be real here. If your main reason for consuming cultured dairy is to help nourish your gut with large servings of probiotics, then milk kefir is your undisputed champion. Well, as you've seen in this video, they both have their pros and cons. For some of you, the taste may be the deciding factor, and for others, the probiotic content might be. For me personally, I prefer milk kefir as it has an extraordinarily higher probiotic count, both in terms of the amount and diversity. Having said that, I think there's a place for both of these fermented dairy kings. For example, you can enjoy a huge glass of probiotics by putting 1 cup of milk kefir in your morning smoothie, and then a nice glass of probiotics by eating some yogurt with fresh fruit as a healthy afternoon snack, giving you the best of both worlds. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below on which fermented dairy you love the most and why. Is it kefir or yogurt? And if you enjoyed this video as part of our fermented food series, I'd love for you to join our Essential Stacks community by clicking the subscribe button below. We research the most important ways you can improve your digestive health so you can love your gut again. Bye for now.